Hey everybody, thank you for stopping by Beautiful Black Rican. I'm not here today to talk about makeup. I'm actually here to talk about something I was recently diagnosed with. Well, it's been about 2 years now. And I think what I want to start doing is like a blog or vlog type thing, because I think it's very, very, very important for women to know about this. So I'm here to do a PMDD awareness video right now. All right, so PMDD, it is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. What it is, to make it plain and simple, it is PMS times 100, as far as I'm concerned. And you get PMDD as well as PMS all together, and it creates a monster. I've had this all of my adult life, but I was misdiagnosed, I want to say in 2005. No. I want to say somewhere between 2005 and 2010. No. Maybe somewhere in between, let's just say somewhere in between 2000 and 2007, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Now, bipolar disorder has a lot of the symptoms that PMDD has, so it's understandable. But when you're diagnosed with bipolar disorder, at least in my case, I was put on, I can't even think of the name of the medicine right now, but it is a medicine that you would take it at night, and it would have you so loopy and out of touch, so drowsy, so sleepy that you just could not keep your eyes open. You would almost be in a state of a drunken type state. And for me, that was a rough situation, especially with my marriage. Husband was very sexually active. I was too. But after taking this medicine every night, there was nothing that I could do. Game over. So it caused a lot of problems in the marriage. Anyway, I eventually took myself off of that medicine. It took me a while, probably about 1.5 years of going through this, maybe 2, because I continuously went to see the doctor, and then they give you this questionnaire that you fill out, and you check all these check boxes, and these check boxes tell them basically what you're going through. Depression was a huge thing in that checkup every time. So taking myself off of the medication, I decided, you know what, we're just going to deal with it the best way that we can. Now, what I was going through, and I had no idea that it was the PMDD, I was very depressed at times, just cried for no reason, angry, like ridiculously angry, and nothing would be wrong, but everything pissed me off. Anxious, very anxious. Some days I was up, some days I was down. Suicidal thoughts. I just wasn't myself. And I could not understand it nor pinpoint it, so that's what made me go to the doctor to begin with. And I thought I needed to go see a head doctor because I felt completely crazy. Never narrowed it down to being the week before my cycle began, because I really didn't pay it attention. Once I was diagnosed, I was like, boom, bam, this is it. Let's take this medicine and let's start to feel better. I really wasn't feeling better, but I was coping. So years go on, and now I'm coping without the medicine. But I'm handling it, I guess. Divorced in 2011. I probably needed to see someone then, because when I say I was at my lowest point of my life, if it wasn't for the grace of God, I would not be here now. If it wasn't for my children, I would not be here now. I drank myself crazy. I smoked cigarettes, and I'm not a cigarette smoker. I contemplated driving myself off of this big hill into a lake over and over and over again. And that's when I started to notice that it would be the worst right before my period. Still didn't register. You know, I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying, you know, maybe it's my hormones, because my hormones are going so crazy that, you know, I'm depressed even the more. I am going through something serious. I was with that man for over 15 years. He practically raised my children and just walked out of our lives like we were trash. Then to come to find out, it was for another woman with children. So that didn't help any. And he made the most money in the relationship, so we were always financially stable. But when he decided to leave me, he cut off his 401k. He cut off his bank account. He sliced me out of everything financially and left me on my own. Now, we made it the best that we could. But my mental had my physical drained, and I just lost my whole person. Me, Sabrina, she was gone. I had started a women's support group, basically, in 2010. 2005. Wait, when did I start it? I really can't remember when I started it, but I started it while I was with my ex-husband, and it was for domestic violence awareness. I also wanted to do things for young teens, the teen girls with pregnancy, abuse, anything that they were dealing with in their lives that they needed help with. So it started out with a group of 10 women, and then it grew. But after the separation and divorce, when I say I lost myself, there was nothing there. And I think because I lived for my husband, I lived for my children, I took good care of that man. And when he walked out of my life, walked out of our lives, it took everything away from me, it seemed like. And I couldn't get it together. And I know I'm going back and forth through my story about the diagnosis now, but I just want to kind of let you know my life and the things that happened, you know, in those times. Like even prior to that, my oldest son was 16, and he finally decided to tell me something that had happened in his life, and it just tore the family apart. And we had to do a lot of counseling, a lot of talking, a lot of crying, and it had happened to him when he was 6 years old. So around that point in time is when I went to see the doctor, the head doctor. So if you have stuff like that that's already on you, and you go looking for a diagnosis for something, you can be misdiagnosed. So a lot of things going on in my life that made me not know what it was wrong with me. And I have dealt with a lot of terrible things in my life. So let's bring us closer to now, or at least 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I started really noticing rage just right before my periods. Just anger, just like I could just probably take somebody out if I wanted to. Prior to that, I was going to a doctor, and I had been put on Xanax because I guess at that point we really didn't pinpoint it either. I never really thought about it being the week before my period. So come on. We're going to get there, you guys. It had gotten so bad that I was starting to dislike my husband. I was depressed. I was down. I was crying a lot about the past and all the things that had happened to me. And it only seemed like right before my period. So finally, I get the name of a doctor, a gynecologist. And I decided to go see her. I make an appointment. And we talk and we talk. I mean, she really, really listened to me. And I'm like, Doc, some days I feel so crazy. I don't feel like myself. And the straw that broke the camel's back, as they say, I was sitting at work one day, and I found myself packing stuff up. I'm putting stuff, I'm getting all my personal stuff, I'm putting it in book bags and bags, and I'm packing everything up. And I am literally about to walk out of my job. Nothing was wrong. I was out of there. I was about to turn off that computer, and I was out. If it hadn't been for the fact that my husband called right in the midst of my craziness, I would have woke up the following morning jobless. So anyway, I told the doctor all of these things. I told her it seemed like it was just right before my period. And I told her that I had just started noticing it within the 2 years. But then after I left my appointment, I started thinking about it and going back and looking at it. And I was like, wow. After she gave me my diagnosis, I realized that I was misdiagnosed years and years ago, where I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. That wasn't it at all. I have struggled with PMDD my whole adult life. 2 weeks out of every month, I have dealt with this, found ways to cope with it, cried myself to sleep by myself, fake the funk, as I say all the time. I really have yet to become that Sabrina that I used to be. I don't know if I'll ever get her back, because she was completely damaged, almost broken. But see, nothing can break what God creates. And He created me. So you can't break me. You can bring me down. I can be damaged. But He's working on that, so don't you worry your pretty little head. But really, after thinking about all of this whole time, it's crazy to know that that is exactly what I was suffering with, PMDD. Now I'm going to get into what PMDD is a little more as we do this. And I am even going to do a daily, let's see, how would we say it? Just a daily post the week before my period to let you know how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. I just want you to know that you are not crazy. A lot of you may be suffering with PMDD and you don't even know it. It is no joke. It is real. And it can have you doing some crazy stuff. Your hormones and your mind and everything is just so discombobulated. And it's rough. Now, for me, I was put on medicine. And my gynecologist put me on Prozac. Okay, the happy pill. Woo woo, whatever. But guess what? The happy pill sure saved a lot of lives. Let's just be real. But the bad thing about the Prozac was that it was making me gain weight. Now, I was on Prozac for 2 years, and in a year and a half, I had already gained 65 pounds. If I told you how much I weighed right now, and I was already a heavy woman, you wouldn't believe it. And I still can't believe that I have gained that much weight in that time period. So anyway, I went to a new doctor. Well, she is a nurse practitioner. And another one who sat and listened to everything I had to say. Every problem, everything I felt, everything I was going through, the change of the body, the blah, 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 this, the blah, 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 that, whatever it was, completely listened to everything I said and said, let's do this. Let's try you on. Oh, Lord. I honestly can't think of the medicine right now. Anyway, I'll find it. I'll let you know what it is. I don't know if it's helping with the weight, but it is keeping me calm. Not as calm and okay as the Prozac. I'm just going to be real with you. But this one keeps me at an even tone, I guess you could say. I mean, there are still days that I want to jack my husband up. Some nights I wake up because he done took the whole bed up and I want to stab him. I'm sorry. I'm just being real. I'm just opening it all up to you guys. I can't help that. This is what you're going through with PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. It's not an easy thing to deal with. All right, y'all. I've got my glasses on, so that means we're about to read some things. You ready? All right, PMDD causes extreme mood shifts that can disrupt work and damage relationships. Symptoms include extreme sadness, hopelessness, irritability, or anger, plus common PMS symptoms such as breast tenderness and bloating. People may experience pain in the breast, muscles, or pelvic. Raise his hand. Mood swings. Raise his hand. I might as well keep my hand up. Sadness, anger, anxiety, hopelessness, or panic attacks. Now, I have not experienced that, thank God. Here we go. Excess sleepiness or insomnia. I've experienced both, and neither one of them make you feel good. Irritability or crying. Appetite changes, thank God. Bloating, depression, diminished interest in usual activities. Here, economic or social dysfunction due to symptoms. Here, fatigue. Here, feeling overwhelmed, food cravings, headaches, increased sensitivity to rejection. Now let me tell you something about that. That is so true, because I'm gonna just give you an example. And this is getting into my personal space a little bit, but it's okay. I had become friends with this I had become friends with another woman to the point that I thought she was like a sister to me. And I had already been through a whole lot of hell with other women in my past. To the point that I really said to myself, I'm done. It was so bad that I almost didn't get married to my now husband. Let's just put it like that. Because women can be very nasty, evil, manipulative. And I had all of that in the preparation of my marriage, my wedding, should I say. And it was coming from everywhere, from people I didn't even expect it to come from. So I was very leery and hesitant to take new friends. Now, I already have one who is my heart, and she will remain my heart. We still love each other. She used to work with me. Now she's on her, somewhere else, and we are still tight. Love her to death. That won't change. But this friend, I had really let into my space. I was there to support her through some really serious things that she was going through. I listened to her every cry. I hugged. I was there for every tear. I thought that we were really, really tight. And I promised myself this was not going to happen again. Well, all of a sudden, she completely stopped talking to me. No explanation. We hadn't fallen out. The last text that we had said to each other is, I love you, sis, I love you more, blah, blah, blah. No reason to fall out. Nothing was wrong, as far as I know. And the way that we talked to each other was like, if anything ever is a problem, let's come to each other, let's talk to each other. Nothing. Now, she had done this once before in our short friendship. And when she finally decided to come talk to me, she was like, it was just her. She was going through something, blah, blah, blah. I said, don't do that to me anymore, because it takes me someplace that I don't want to be, and I'd rather not deal with it. If you don't, if you can't respect that, then we can't be friends. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd already gone through this with other women. I just don't have anything left in me to give people for them to run over me. So I know for a fact it was the week before my period that it got to me so bad. I was sitting at my desk because we worked together. And I was sitting at my desk and I just started to cry. And I was like, I can't believe this is going on. I was just so sad. And I was telling my husband, I was like, nothing has even happened. Like, I don't understand. And I was really messed up a whole damn day. And I texted her and I was like, are you okay? Do you just need some time again or something? I don't remember exactly what I said to her. And she came back with some, cut and dry, I'm good. Oh, okay. So I know that because it was the week before my period, that's why I was in such a mess. Because after my period started, I really could have cared less anymore. It was like, it is what it is. I'm used to it. This is what people do to Sabrina, unfortunately. They use me until they have no more use for me, unfortunately. So that's just something that I know I was going through. For me to be sitting at work crying, knowing anybody could walk up on me like, what is wrong with you? And I'm sitting there crying, texting my husband and telling him what's going on and trying to figure it out. But it was no need to figure it out because I'm not the one that has the problem. You understand what I'm saying? I did nothing to her. If she feels like our friendship wasn't supposed to be, then it is what it is. People are there for a reason, a season, and whatever the other thing is. I guess my season is up. The reason is up. But anyway, that is just an example of me knowing the week before. And see, I had missed some of my medicine too. So, just to let you know, don't miss your medicine if you get put on medicine. I'm telling you, because you will feel the difference. So that was an increased sensitivity to rejection. Lack of concentration. When I tell you I cannot concentrate at work to save my life, I can't finish one task before I'm doing something else. And my mind is here and there and everywhere. Sometimes it's in Never Never Land. Sometimes it's trying to figure out how I'm going to get back into my organization that is now that it's nonprofit. What am I supposed to do? I'm just so confused and discombobulated. I can't get it together, y'all. It's terrible. And that's even on the medicine. It's just that's just something that's not resolvable. Is that a word? Anyway, self-critical thoughts, water retention. I swear, if you stuck something in me, I would leak water. I am so heavy everywhere. Anyway, so water retention or weight gain. Of course, I already told you about the weight gain. So if you have PMDD, you're going to gain weight. Then they put you on a medicine that's supposed to help you, which it did help me, but it made me gain more weight. So if I told y'all how fat I was right now, I'm telling you, I don't even look like myself anymore. I look like a Oompa Loompa. I don't want to go out. I don't want to do anything that unless I'm going to work and coming home. I'm so heavy that my knees hurt, and I just found out that I have arthritis in the knees. I'm just not winning in my 48th year of life. And I need to get it together before 50 comes because I can't live like this. It's too much. Anyway, I miss 1 to 2 days a month because of this situation, because of my PMDD, because of my heavy periods. And when I say heavy, I mean I am wearing Pampers now. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I have to wear 2 and 3 Pampers to cover my whole area because some days the flow is to the front. Some days the flow is to the back. Some days it stays in the middle. I never know which way I'm going to flow. And it fills up these Pampers and I have to change on a regular. And it's hard to go to work because I'm always gushing out. And don't let me have a cold because if I start coughing, it's over. There have been days I have literally bled down my leg and have to leave to go home to shower and change. My boss, thank God, I'm not on FMLA, which I should be. But thank God that my boss's wife has gone through something like this. Because if it wasn't for that, I don't know that I wouldn't be fired by now. I think that's the only saving grace. Because he really doesn't like me. But I'm so grateful that I have him for a boss in that aspect. Because anybody else would have said, it was nice working with you, Sabrina. Unfortunately, we have someone new coming in. He's retiring. I don't know how this is going to work out. I guess I better get this FMLA in gear, like ASAP. Matter of fact, it's so bad that I know Friday, like, I'm supposed to start my period today, but it's not here yet. Once the river starts flowing, I call her Mother Hater. Once Mother Hater starts flowing, it's going to take me 3 good days before I can really function because I'm in so much pain and just weak and tired. Oh my Lord. It is the worst. And we have a Employee Appreciation Day on Friday. There's no way that I'm going to be in good condition to go to a park and sit around in the heat with a period, feeling like I'm going to be feeling and be okay. There's no way. So I've already put in a vacation day for that. That's how bad my periods are. So 2 weeks out of every month. First week is the PMDD. Second week is the terrible, 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 painful, ridiculously heavy periods. My doctor did not want to do a hysterectomy, which I'm still upset about that, because she tried to do a DNC in hopes that it would change it. It has not. So I owe the hospital money, and we should have just went on to the hysterectomy and called it a day. I would have been a happier Sabrina. But it's okay. So anyway, enough of my babble. I had started a series on my YouTube for PMDD, and I want to just continue it. So this is what today was, letting you know that we're going to continue in this. We're going to talk about it more and more and more. And I'm going to do a week before my period so that you can see how PMDD is. You can see day 1 to day 5, sometimes to day 7, prior to your period. And this is on medicine, so you'll see. You'll see. I just want you to know, ladies, if you are suffering with any of those symptoms that I gave you, and you feel like it's not just regular PMS, go to your gynecologist, tell them about it, let them do the testing, let them do what they need to do to get you the help you need. I really think that some of these women out here that might be killing people, I'm sorry, y'all, I shouldn't be laughing because it's not a joke, but they're suffering with PMDD. Your mind, everything is crazy. You just can't think straight. I'm done. My name is Sabrina. My organization is Women of Hearts. I also have Beautiful Black Rican, which is my makeup channel. That's how I came on in the very beginning. So we're going to post this on Beautiful Black Rican, but we're also going to post it on Women of Hearts. Hearts means having emotions and recognizing true strength. I think that's where I started the series, so I'm going to make sure that everything is there. So anyway, again, thank you for stopping by my channel. Just remember, you are not crazy. PMDD is real. It's not something to play with, you guys. I love you. Bye-bye.